go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Twin Shores Financial YouTube channel. I'm Alex Kaminer, the host, here with Tim Nihill, our founder and CEO. And today we're going to be doing our third part in our 401k series. And we're really going to go in depth this time about what to do with your 401k. We've covered a lot of already, and now this one should be short, sweet, and a real conclusive summary of everything that we've talked about. Tim, why don't you start us off?
So we've talked about the strategy in part one around really how to think about 401ks, right? I can tell you from personal experience and our experience in the 401k industry that these should not be the panacea of your retirement plan, and they can't be the centerpiece for it. So you have to have a strategy that's outside the 401k if you want any chance of having a successful retirement. And that comes down to either coming up with your own strategy or hiring the right financial professionals. Second part of that is we did discuss and go through a demonstration about how to set up your investment lineup. Like we said, first and foremost for us, especially with clients we work with, we're asking and seeing if we have a self-directed brokerage option, which would open up the window and not have us limited to a structured lineup selected by someone else from an investment perspective, because quite frankly, most lineups are incomplete and they don't really offer you the opportunity to manage your money as you're going to need to in order to have a successful 401k plan. So if you don't have a self-directed brokerage option, then you have to look at either building your own model inside of your 401k or taking whatever default they give you, which is primarily these days target date funds. As I think we discussed a little bit, we are not fans of any target date offering for that fact. We just think these things are incomplete. They're garbage, quite frankly. And I can tell you, as working with alongside the group that created these things, there's no way you're gonna have a successful retirement if you're just throwing your money in a target date fund. You might as well go to the roulette table. Yeah, how about that for some good news? But at the end of the day, if you're building your own asset allocation, we highly recommend that in the systems, it allows you to automatically rebalance every quarter or every, let's say 6 months. We usually recommend at the very least every 6 months. That way your money is always shifting. So you're taking gains off the table, shifting those gains. Strategies that haven't performed well should perform well in the future. So that should help earn you some extra percentage points across, your savings and your investment in the 401k. And then from there, I would just say, keep an eye on it. You don't have to watch these things every day, but at least revisit it every 3 to 6 months. If you know a professional, hire a professional to help oversee this for you. Obviously, these accounts are becoming pretty big in terms of utilization. And we always recommend using an investment professional to at least create the proper allocation and set it up so you can at least put money in, take advantage of the company match, and hopefully do a little bit better than if you just dumped your 401k into some sort of target date fund. Last but not least, always know your options. So whenever if you leave a job, move on to a new company, take your old 401k with you. We usually don't recommend you rolling your money into the new 401k. Again, these things are very limited. We don't think they're operating in the best interest of 401k participants and American investors. That's been demonstrated by the United States Senate as they've introduced a bill and recently passed a bill which allows your money to be managed for you according to the terms of what's in the best interest of society and social credits and ESG instead of what is in your best interest. We have a massive ethical and philosophical issue with this. We think that Washington is overstepping their bounds, quite frankly, and I'm sure a lot of this stuff will be solved in court at some point down the road. All you have to do is Google 401k lawsuits and even add target date funds, and you're going to see Fidelity and Vanguard and BlackRock are all starting to come under fire for all the offerings that they've brought to the table, their target date funds. And then on top of that, I think the rubber's going to hit the road at some point down the road when people that have thrown their entire life into these things, they get to the retirement and they're going to find out that 401k was not sufficient And then if you tie in the fact that your money can be managed not in your best interest, but in the best interest of society or social credit system, that kind of goes against the, I would say, spirit of ERISA and being an ERISA fiduciary. So at some point between what's happened, through Washington and what's happened with Wall Street, since, they hijacked the 401k system back in 2008 with the passing of the Pension Protection Act, at some point the people are going to stand up and say, hey, this is my only option for retirement. And then you're giving me such a limited selection of investments that, quite frankly, don't provide any opportunities for proper diversification and do not meet the investment needs of people in today's times and what's going to be needed moving forward. So at some point, we feel that 401ks are going to be a massive litigation battleground. It's really going to be the American investor against Washington, D.C., and it's going to be against Wall Street as well, because they go hand in hand. Like I said, if you want to have a successful 401k, or at least put yourself in a better position to have this be a supporting part of your retirement plan and have it be a solid part, first and foremost, hire the right professional or look for people like us that have a tremendous amount of experience in this sector, in this industry. On top of that, be smart, do your homework. Anything else that you could think from the top of your head, Alex, or have we covered everything?
No, I think that we've covered everything.
Yep. I think it's interesting. Everyone's told, hey, start saving early, and the earlier you save in these things, the better you are down the road. I'm not going to argue that that's not a bad, it's a good strategy. The only issue too is the largest expense that people have and are going to have in retirement is taxation. So your 401k and your traditional 401k is 100% income tax. So we would recommend use it as a piece, not the entire strategy. Diversify elsewhere across different products, investment strategies, and things like that. So with that said, that's all I have to share about the 401k. Hope everyone enjoyed the information we shared. And if you want to hear more, please like, subscribe, and add comments below.
On behalf of Twin Shores Financial, thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed it and want to stay up to date on everything in the financial industry, please subscribe and, of course, like, share, comment your thoughts down below.